Hello everyone, good afternoon. We'll just wait for one more minute for more people to join so that we can start. Please, let's just hold on for one more minute. All right. Again, good afternoon, everyone. This is myself, Ravi. We are going to discuss about artificial intelligence and machine learning today. And the way the deck is structured is that first we will be talking about artificial intelligence and machine learning in general, the industry perspective, okay, to give an overview of why this is important, how much this is important, okay, and for especially for professionals like you, okay, and then we'll be talking about how great learning can and hoping that it would be a good learning session for everyone, and hopefully I'd be able to clear most of the doubts that you have after the session. Okay, let's move forward. Yeah, so so this is a question that I talk to a lot of starters in this field, and I generally ask them around what is the when you envision what is that you envision when you hear something about artificial intelligence? What's the first thing that comes to your mind? All right, to a lot of people, the first thing that comes to mind is something like this. Okay, basically a humanoid or a semi robot and human from a sci-fi, straight out of a sci-fi movie, all right, which is actually a robot but acts and performs just like a human. Okay, to some it would mean something like this, which is a self-driving car, and it's actually a reality. You won't find too many self-driving cars on the road in any part of the world right now because of legal restrictions, but this is a reality. We have cars where you do not need drivers at all. They are good enough to be driven by themselves. Okay, and for some nuanced users who have followed something like this and AI before, it can mean something like this, where this is a game where AlphaGo, basically a robot, or you can call a bot, defeated one of the best players in Go game. Okay, and this is first time ever. So basically all that means is that there are algorithms, or there are machines which are which are acting and performing as good as humans, or even better sometimes, all right, for in specific tasks. Okay, moving forward, what actually do we mean when we say AI? So I'll help you understand this, by explaining the three stages of AI. There is, first of all, there is narrow AI. Narrow AI is typically when a machine or an algorithm or a robot, it basically, or a computing system, which is basically good at one task. All right. Something like, for example, an image recognition task. Okay. For example, if you remember, and if you, I assume that most of you, or all of you would be familiar with Facebook and the photo tagging that goes on on Facebook. If you remember, we earlier used to upload pics on Facebook, and basically Facebook used to ask us, who this person is of the pic, in the pic that you uploaded. All right. And now we don't do it anymore, because what Facebook has done is, it has a deep learning algorithm, which is called deep face. All right. And what it does is, it has basically learned from your tagging or the input that you have given over a period of time, and now it can, when you upload a photo, it does not need your information anymore. It knows who the person is, right? So it has drastically improved its own, estimation of who the person is, and basically it has become super efficient at one task. Okay. And that's what we call narrow AI. Okay. General AI is basically not fixed to a task, but it's basically fixed to a context. All right. And it's basically not about a task. For example, if you use voice assistant technology like Siri, Google Assistant, or Alexa, and you ask several kind of questions. What's my schedule for today? What's my, how's the weather outside? Sing a song, or something like that. And basically, and do a lot of stuff. So something like this, a machine like this, or a computing system like this, is not just good at one task. It can do several tasks, and it takes on information, and it does several tasks within a context. All right. And this is pretty much equivalent to, basically, machine learning has helped this automation system, or computing system, to become as good as a human being. All right. uh, Super AI is the third type of AI, which basically means that it's a machine where it has the efficiency and smartness of this machine is much better than humans, as it is. Now this is something straight out of a sci-fi movie like Matrix, where, and it's very futuristic. It's not reality as of today. Okay. It's far from reality, but not to say that it cannot happen. Okay. And but right now it is far from reality. Okay. It's one of the quotes that Andrew Ng, the person who founded Coursera and is an expert in artificial intelligence and machine learning. There are many courses about this guy on web. You would know him. I like this quote, which he says, basically, super AI is something that I worry as much about as I worry about overpopulation on Mars. Basically, it's not relevant at this point of time, but who knows? Okay. Right. So moving ahead, let's first understand what's the landscape of artificial intelligence. There are a lot of jargons and words, keywords thrown about in news, in articles, in discussions. Deep learning, machine learning, artificial intelligence. There are a lot of technologies, tools thrown about. But what is this actually? In an overview, how can we define this to better understand? Okay. I start with artificial intelligence. See, basically, any form of machine or computation system, or computers, or robots, or whatever, anything which is not in human and is basically is basically tasked to perform like human intelligence does, is basically termed as artificial intelligence. Okay, it's the, it's the theory and development of computer systems to perform similarly to human intelligence. That's the broad definition of artificial intelligence. There are a lot of nuances in this. For example, something like machine learning. So basically, machine learning is a vast and a very deep field where we are creating algos or algorithms which take data over a period of time, and lots of data over a period of time, and learn themselves to become better. So these algorithms become better over time through data. All right, and they evolve as they go, which is very similar to human beings. As human beings, we have also evolved over a period of time, and that has happened because of a lot of learning. That's it. And that is why this is called machine learning. This is basically evolution over a period of time through specific techniques, and that is the field of machine learning. All right, there are a lot of techniques: supervised, unsupervised learning, and something which is included in the course. Okay, and I'll cover in the later part of the deck. But you know a lot of people ask, can I understand, or can I do artificial intelligence without machine learning? A straight answer is yes, you can do it, but typically it's a very difficult task to do it, because artificial intelligence, the resources, the effort, the time required would be much high and very impractical, to do this. And that's why machine learning is an essential part of artificial intelligence. The techniques used, the nuances used, and the technology involved is enables people to do complex use cases and tasks, which helps in artificial intelligence. Next is deep learning. What is deep learning? So machine learning, to be very clear, is something which evolves over time. It betters itself through learning. But it has a certain percentage accuracy in the tasks that it does, right? So probably a particular use case or a task would be around 85% accurate, based on machine learning techniques. But when you use deep learning, and if you use deep structured learning and hierarchical learning and many techniques which are involved in deep learning, you can probably move that 85% to close to 99% accuracy, which is as good as human accuracy. So very nuanced tasks which actually mimic the human brain, right? For example, image recognition, basically, neural networks, right? All these stuff you can understand through deep learning and its techniques. Okay, and basically this is to build solutions where we enhance the uh, accuracy and speed that we have already developed from machine learning. So I hope this actually clarifies the AI landscape, basically what artificial intelligence is, what machine learning is, and what deep learning is. Right. So let's talk about this a bit, which is basically data revolution. So this slide basically tells us more about how over a period of time organizations and companies have evolved the way they are using data. So for example, early 2000s, there was a period in early 2000s where companies had a lot of data, and they were trying to infer a lot of information, or analyzing a lot of information from this data. That's when IT revolution came up in 90s, and then a lot of data capturing used to happen. And basically around 2003 2004, business intelligence came up, where inferring data from sets, inferring from sets of data, making easy to understand dashboards, and all this happened at that period of time, which is called business intelligence. Basically, intel about business. Okay, moving forward, and if you fast forward to 2012, 2009, 2012 period, around that period, a lot of companies started using data, past data, and using them to their advantage to predict the future. Okay, which is called predictive modeling. So a lot of, for example, a lot of companies use these sales data for predicting sales in let's say the next quarter or the next couple of years, right? That's how they started using the data now, in this period. Then after this period, somewhere around 2013 14, these companies and a lot of organizations collectively started producing a lot of data. Basically, data generation and data computation went up significantly. All right, and these were such large volumes of data and large variety of data as well, for example structured and unstructured, that new techniques had to come up to handle all this data. And that's the genesis of big data. It's nothing but basically handling a large volumes of data and making sense out of it. So data science and big data as fields came up during this period, and that's still relevant. All of this is still relevant, but you could see how evolution is happening just around data in this during this short time span. Okay, machine learning is relatively new. Okay, it's not it's something which has born out of data itself. All right, and it's relatively new. It is basically an extension of data science, and as we discussed in the previous slide, it's basically machines getting better through learning, through a lot of data and through learning themselves. Okay, uh, and then we are talking about AI and deep learning, which as I said, which talks about more accuracy, faster computations, and basically this is an upward curve. So and this will continue. So a lot of use cases these days are around these last two cases. So basically machine learning and deep learning, and a lot of companies are doing great work in these fields, having conquered all these business intelligence, predictive modeling, data science, and big data. Now these companies are moving on to, and the engineers are moving on to new fields like machine learning and AI and deep learning, and using them to their advantage to solve business problems, actual business problems today. Right. So just throwing out these numbers, these are big numbers. All of these are big numbers, and this just goes to show the importance of artificial intelligence, machine learning in the industry at this point of time. So 50% annual growth rate of AI spends. We're talking about billions of dollars in AI spend in 2021. Enterprises would be spending again billions of dollars in 2025. There are a couple of data points that I would like to highlight over here and bring it to your focus. If you look at the second row, where it talks about, and the first column in the second row, where it talks about 28.5% error rate in 2010 for image labeling, that percentage has gone down to 2.5% in 2017 for image labeling. So you understand that with time, over a period of time, as data has increased, and these algorithms are becoming better and better at identifying images. Even the error rates have fallen so much that we can actually, it mimics humans completely, and this is going to go down even further. So that's one data point that I wanted to highlight. The other data point is basically about jobs, which is the last cell. 4.5 times growth in jobs requiring AI skills since 2013. That's the growth in jobs that you have in this field. And to be honest, there are not enough engineers to do it, and that's why it's one of the most sought after profile in industry these days. and there are just not enough good engineers to do it. All right, so you understand the impact that it can have on anyone's careers that ways. Okay. Now coming to this, you know, why is everyone learning AI? This graph basically shows that all these universities, these are top universities in US, and they were actually first movers in courses like artificial intelligence and machine learning. Stanford, Berkeley, Georgia Tech, UIUC. You can see the hockey stick growth somewhere around 2000, mid 2005 and mid 2010, and that growth has not stagnated, or it has not actually tapered out. It's still growing. All right, most of the these are number of students enrolling, and you can see that there is a lot of interest in these courses. Fair to say that early movers take the bird, and basically these guys are people who started in 90s, early 2000s. Just imagine the kind of exposure and the kind of learning these guys would have at this point of time in these fields, and this is only going to grow, no doubt about it. And about machine learning, you can see almost the same kind of growth. In fact, I think it started a bit earlier in machine learning, and again the same trend. It continues to grow still, and this is very relevant with Indian context as well. It's not just a US context. It is happening across the world, first of all, and it is also happening in Indian context as well. So if you talk about, if you look at people who are learning artificial intelligence and machine learning, that number itself has grown in India. And if you are keeping yourself abreast with knowledge about workforces and IT and all, you would know that a lot of emphasis is being put upon by even IT giants like Infosys, Accenture, Wipro, TCS, and they are reskilling and upskilling people who are in their IT jobs to in AI and ML. So within companies, people realize that we need to upgrade to get better, get better at your work, and get better projects, get better work, get more business done. These are some of the skills that companies look for, and typically machine learning, deep learning, NLP, computer vision, speech recognition, all these things you learn in that we have in our programs. And these are all stuff which has, again, the curve is pretty similar. Uh, a lot of job listings are going up. If you keep a track of job listings, if you go to Monster or Naukri or whatever job sites that you follow, and if you search for jobs in machine learning today, and if you do it probably 3 months down the line, you would see that that number has increased. Right? It's as quick these days. Uh, these are some of the tools that we have, and you can see the number of stars, GitHub stars for TensorFlow and scikit-learn. Uh, and no prizes for guessing that you learn this in machine learning and deep learning programs in detail and with practical applications and projects. And as I said, this revolution is happening right now, right here in India as well. This is a report. This is from a report from Intel India, and basically it talks about adoption of AI in Indian enterprises. Around 20% adoption, 22% currently. By mid 2019, which is not too far away, it's just around the corner, that is going to go to 68.6%. So basically, it's a 2017 report, and within 2 year period, that number will go from 22% to almost 70%. And of course, this is pertinent to Intel. So they have their data centers, servers running on AI workloads worldwide close to 97%, which is huge.
So it is fairly similar. So the global story in AI/ML is fairly similar in India as well. Now, having talked about the general concept and universal understanding of AI/ML, and hopefully it would have helped you understand a better, or given you a better picture of what AI/ML is. Uh, let's talk about what do we have to offer as Great Learning. What are we doing in this AI revolution, and how are we enabling students or candidates or professionals to move forward in their careers through having a better grasp in these fields. Okay, so let's understand the programs, what they are about, what the formats are, and how are we delivering it for you guys. A very quick overview on what these programs are. So we have two tracks within AIML. One is a machine learning track, which is basically a 7 months program, and the formats that we have in this are blended, which is a weekend classroom program and an online content program, and online content along with it. And we also have an online only program with weekend personalized mentoring. Okay, and the other program is AIML, which is a 12-month program, and the formats remain the same. And so basically, you have two tracks and you have two variants within the formats. So you can choose based on your. So the reason why we have different formats is because different people have different needs and different circumstances. Some people are comfortable with classroom learning. Some people are comfortable with online learning or self-paced learning. And that's why we have differentiated over here. And the way it happens is, we start with ML in AIML, and our first 7 months is about machine learning, and the next 5 months is about AIML. So people who have opted for AIML would so people who have opted for ML will graduate, and the people who have opted for AIML continue the course and learn more about AI techniques, deep learning, and all. Okay, so the as an overview, these are the two programs that we have, and so your question would be what is so unique about your programs, and why do we do it? Okay, so there are a lot of learning material online. There is a lot of free material floating around. You have a lot of online courses that you can do. Uh, we as a company, Great Learning is basically unique in the sense, and differentiated in the sense from these other programs that you can easily get hands-on on, is that we focus on a lot of hands-on learning. So there are a lot of labs and projects involved, which means you learn by doing. We typically we do not want people to just have a theoretical overview and get done with it. Um, so basically, uh, to become an expert, or to get on a journey to become a machine learning or an AIML expert, what we intend to do is we intend to have a lot of theory, and we also intend to have a lot of labs and projects to supplement that theory that you can use in your practical work, and that you can showcase down the line and can have a better grasp of the subject, and be on the part to become an expert. A lot of the courses out in the world would tell you that you can become a machine learning expert or AIML expert in, let's say, 30 days, or even 30 hours or something, right? That's basically that's wrong kind of selling, if you ask me, because that can't happen. You cannot become an expert in 30 days in something, right? Until it's a very simple thing, right? But as candidates, you would know that machine, techniques like machine learning, technologies like machine learning, AI/ML, these things involve dedication. These things involve learning, and you cannot become an expert unless until you do a lot of practical work, or labs or projects, along with the theory that you gain. So basically, hands-on working, being hands-on on a lot of these projects is very important, and that's what we have in our programs. Online labs are available 24 into 7 to just practice. Okay. Uh, there is a lot of Secondly, there is a lot of industry focus. So we have developed this curriculum after discussion with a lot of industry experts who are working in this field right now, and in a very in respected positions in across industry and across companies, who understand what is required in the industry to actually excel in these fields. Okay. There are professionals who teach classes and mentor projects. So there is a lot of support from both industry and professionals, and basically you get to learn firsthand from a lot of these guys who are doing well in these fields. Okay. And that's very important, because until unless the practicality of the application is not there, I think the learning is not completely 100%. Okay. Thirdly, we focus on what's pertinent today, what's important today and emerging. Okay, we are futuristic, but we keep in mind that we have to be realistic as well, and that's why we have built a curriculum which is based on what's important and relevant today, and we keep a close tab on whether our curriculum is getting outdated or something like that, and we update it as we go. All right, because these are fast changing fields as well. You have to remember that there are a lot of developments happening within these technologies, and there are people in the world who are making advanced studies within this field. So these, we have to be abreast of all these changes and orient our curriculum accordingly, so that you get the best of what can be offered in this curriculum. Now, what can you achieve through these programs? What do we expect to achieve through these programs? So this is basically a very short list of what you can expect to know and understand, and become experts on. So basically, you would delve deeper into deep learning, build neural networks, and learn to lead successful machine learning projects. Okay. Then you can become proficient in Python. Python is the language which is used in AI and ML, and that's the language of choice that we have, and that's what we go ahead and deliver our program in. And you would know about data libraries like NumPy, Pandas, and others. Okay. And develop expertise in technologies like TensorFlow, Keras, and which are popular in building applications like face detection, sentiment analysis, and all this stuff. So basically, a lot of real world problems. So a lot of real world problems can be solved through these theoretical concepts, and we would help you, get up to speed through a lot of these industry grade projects on GitHub. Okay, and so that you can have a verified portfolio of these projects. So basically, become a well-rounded, AI and ML, person after doing this course from us. What will you learn in the program, right? So if you look at the modules, we start off, as I said, we start off with machine learning. Okay. And for people who do not have people who do not have a real grasp on Python, we have a short introductory course which is the first module, to so that everyone is on the same platform. You need not know Python beforehand, but we do have, because we have intro to Python course, we
if you have any experience in any of the programming languages, you would know that and that is good. Okay, that will help you understand Python better, and Python is typically one of the easiest languages to catch on. So after that, we have advanced stats, supervised learning ensemble techniques, unsupervised learning, recommendation systems, okay, where you develop recommendation systems. And then you move on to AI part, where you learn about deep learning, neural networks, computer vision, natural language processors, intelligent agents, and all. So and some part of the course here has been created by IIT Bombay professors as well. So most of all this content is created by experts, industry experts, great faculty, and definitely, I mean, I would recommend that you go ahead and look at the curriculum on the website itself. You would have a better sense of what all exactly is covered. Talking about projects, these are small indicative sample project problems that you build in your project portfolio, and these are the kind of projects we you would do in your curriculum. Something like what Uber did, for example, using predictive analytics to estimate taxi demand in a particular area. In this example, New York City, it could be any place. But if you have enough data to do that, you can forecast demand and make predictions on wait times, which is great for business, because you basically increase the predictability of sales. You decrease the unevenness of demand and all that stuff. So this is great for business if you can accurately predict this. Okay. Then again, something like customer sentiment from Amazon reviews. So basically, you build machine learning models that can determine and predict sentiment from reviews on Amazon's website that happen on products. So whether those guys are, whether that product is actually getting what kind of reviews these products are getting. I mean, what is the sentiment that people have for these products? And so on and so forth. So there are many projects that we do, and there are image detection projects. Um, so a lot of projects. You have almost 12 projects that you have in the curriculum. What are the prerequisites for this program? You would be wondering, what do I need to understand, what do I need to know, or what do I need to have to actually go ahead and do this program? Is there a qualifying criteria? What do I need to do? So very simply put, you have to be, first of all, you have to have a bachelor's degree with a minimum of 50% aggregate marks or equivalent. Okay. And which is which is not asking much, to be honest. You have to have good decent familiarity with high school maths, because there is statistics involved over here, and it's good to have that familiarity. And you need to have functional programming knowledge. So you would ideally have some kind of background in programming knowledge, not necessarily in Python. Any language would do. As I mentioned earlier, for admitted candidates who don't know Python, we will have a pre-program tutorial so that these guys are able to get up to speed. Okay, that's it. That's the qualifying criteria if you were in doubt. Okay, continuing with why do a course from Great Learning? Having understood the curriculum and having understood the kind of projects that we do, there is a lot of lot of support, and there is a lot of career enhancing activities that we do. So our job does not stop at just providing content material, or through classroom programs, or through getting the projects and labs done. No, we help you guys, we help the candidates to to find better jobs, to make better switches, to work in in fields of their choice, which is artificial intelligence and machine learning.
through career development workshops. Okay, there is industry connect that we have. We have a lot of industry experts who you can connect to and learn more about what is going on in the industry, what kind of career you can expect in this field, how to uh, modify your resume, how to bring your candidature forward in a better way to hiring companies and all that stuff based on industry learning. Then there is of course peer-to-peer networking, because a lot of you people are experienced folks. Last time you did a formal education would be some years back, and you would appreciate the kind of learning that can happen through similar minded or even better professionals that are learning along with you. There's a lot of rub on effect. There's a lot of learning that happens within peer to peer, and that is something that we encourage as well. uh, you would have a lot of access to lateral opportunities. We have a job board which basically keeps on posting a lot of jobs in this ML and AI field, and you could apply to that through us. Uh, and then of course we have an e-portfolio and e-portfolio, which is basically a collection of all the projects that you have done through us or through yourself, and it's a repository for hiring companies or for people to look at your projects and have a sense of what this guy has done actually, and it becomes a discussion thing in interviews and in hiring processes and all. So it's a great thing to have to showcase to your recruiters. Okay. Moving forward, where do our alumni work? So people who have done courses from us, AI and ML, where do these people come from? Uh, to be honest, if you can look at it, it's not possible to name names. There's just too many people from too many companies. All the biggest and biggest technology companies are out there. What you would also notice is that not only technology, there are a lot of companies in manufacturing, aviation, online companies, all across the board, if you ask me. So a lot of these people are coming and joining our courses and benefiting from this. The takeaway that I have from this slide, or something that I want you to have from this slide, is you're not limited to technology companies doing AI and ML, right? There are artificial intelligence and machine learning in terms of application of these are happening across the board, and that is something great, because you're not limited to a particular industry. You are as a machine learning and an artificial intelligence expert is basically it's a requirement that is everywhere, that is omnipresent, and that's the biggest takeaway that I want you to have from this slide. So that's about it. I What I also failed to mention is about the alumni is, we have tracked the we focus on a lot on the outcomes that we generate from the learning that we have provided, and we have tracked over a period of time how many of our alumni have actually transitioned in their roles after learning from us. And I'm very proud to tell you that it's close to 67-70% of people who actually transition into better roles or roles of their choice, or advance in their careers, or make some sort of transition within 6 months of doing a course from us. So that's a great number to have, and we are striving to get it done to 100%. And because at the end of the day, that's our validation as a company, great learning. That's our validation that we are doing something right, and that's about it. uh, what I would do is I would encourage you guys to get in touch with our admissions office, and get know more about the program, the curriculum, when are the batches starting, how quickly can you enroll into it, and all this stuff. So I have mentioned it out here, and you can always go on to our website greatlearning.in and check the relevant courses that you would want to do. A lot of information is out there, and hopefully you found this session interesting and useful. Uh, I I think we have some time still. Okay, so I'll take some of the questions that I can quickly, and so there's one question about from Rajesh Thakur, how this can help an orthopedician now or in near future. Uh, so I would answer this in a more generic sense. A lot of people, a lot of companies in the health industry, these guys are actually using a lot of AI and ML techniques to actually predict a lot of diseases, right? A lot of curable or incurable diseases, whatever. These guys a lot of using a lot of data from patients, from people that are suffering through these diseases, and they can predict an event occurring or not with a fairly high accuracy. For example, tumor detection, cancer detection, and other many diseases. So in general, health industry is using a lot of these techniques in general, and I'm pretty sure there is a lot of use cases in specialized fields like orthopedics as well. So one of the questions is, what is the background of the course instructors? So our course instructors, are faculty from well-reputed colleges. We have faculty from Great Learning, which has been ranked as one of the top institutes for a number of years now. Great Lakes, sorry, and a lot of content has been built in AI and AI course specifically through IIT Bombay faculty, and also we have a lot of experts from industry, who do mentoring sessions. So very well known, very industry leading faculty that we have, practitioners from top companies also. I'm just scrolling down to get questions which could answer a bigger group. That's what I'm trying to find out, because there are a lot of questions. What's the cost of the program? What's the fees? It's a very recurring theme. I think I would just mention it out here, but I would encourage everyone to get in touch with the admissions team. So as I said, there are two programs that we have, AI and ML, and there are two variants in both, which is blended and online with mentoring. Our cost of AI and ML blended program is 3.25 lakh plus taxes. And our cost for machine learning blended program is 2.25 lakh plus taxes. For the online versions of both these courses, it's 2 lakh and 1.25 lakh respectively. Okay. For undergoing this course, should I need to have any work experience? Uh, Not really. You If you have some sort of programming experience, it works for us. Not necessarily work experience, uh, but programming experience is required. Is it a daily session program or weekends? It is not a daily sessions program. Question from Premnath. No, it's not a daily session program. It's a weekends program, and that too, it's not all weekends in a month. It's one weekend. It's one weekend per month, and the classes happen on the weekends, and typically the class schedule is like 9 to 6 or 9:30 to 6:30. Once every month on a weekend. Our following question is: big data knowledge required for this course? Not really. Not really, Tarun. Thanks for asking. This is again a question that comes up now and often. Big data is not really required for this course. Big data is something else. Big data, applications can be required in some projects of ML, but not really. You do not need to have big data techniques to actually go ahead and do this course. If I join in the ML program, can I shift to the ML course even as the course is on, or will I have to take up AI as a new course altogether? Nelson, thank you for this question because it's a very pertinent question for us, and a lot of people do this. A lot of people join machine learning course as it is, and then they move on to AI course seamlessly. So the first 7 months is common for both AIML and machine learning course, and that's why people who are opting just for machine learning, they graduate, and the people who are opting for AIML, or people who decide to opt for AIML just after completion of machine learning, they go on and do the next 5 months of AIML course. So this could completely be taken once you are in the course. You do not need to opt for AI right here, right now. Is there any certification? Yes, Aarti, we do have certification. We have certification from Great Lakes as of now. We are also in the process of getting some certification from US schools, and that's in the process. Right now, we have certification from Great Lakes. Can I do this course while working? Is again asked by Nelson. Definitely, Nelson. You can do this course while you're working. The choice is yours, whether you would want to do a classroom program, or whether you with online learning, or whether you would want to do an online only program with mentoring sessions on the weekend. So all the hard yards that you are putting in are actually on the weekends, and not really in the during weekdays when we expect you guys to work. This program is specifically created for working professionals, and we do not expect them to quit the jobs to do this course. Python knowledge is required or not? Asked by Amar. Any language would do. Python is something that we would help you get up to speed once you start the program. What are the basic topics I need to know in maths? Not many. If you are good with maths, I think you would know. Statistical techniques is something that you would need to brush up. I think that's anyways a part of the course. But in general, since these courses include computation, working with data, you need to be decently familiar with maths. And if you're asking about one particular maths concept, I would point to statistics. So there are a lot of questions, and we are already running out of time. My suggestion would be to get in touch with our admissions team. There's a number right there. You would also find it on the website. I would ask learning consultants and admissions team to reach out to you and specifically clear all the doubts that you have one on one. That would be the best way to do it. And hopefully you would find value in learning from us, with us, and looking forward to serving you guys. Okay, so that's it for the day. Thank you guys. Thanks for your time.